disgruntled line cook, got into it with management, and decided that he had enough. So he waited until the night got super busy. He took a container of salt, walked off the line, and just salted everything on the line. Sabotaged the kitchen. Such a fuckhead move. Okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Whipped Cream Salmon. I am your noodle boy, Ronnie Sanchez. Joined with me, my co-noodle boy, Brian Bastanza.
I'm Brian Bastanza.
This is a show where we talk about all things food, friends, and fuckery.
Bring on the fuckery, Ronnie.
Yeah, our boys got it together this weekend. Your boys got together this weekend.
Our boys too.
Our boys, yeah, one of our boys was there.
Yeah,
and we got down with some extra special fuckery. It was a good time.
It was a good time. Ronnie hosted a yakitori party. It was very Japanese themed, which is very nice. I had
Super
a
fun.
full Japanese attire, Japanese pants, Japanese
did,
shirt, Japanese dumpling pin on my pants.
He did have all these things.
Yeah, I brought a bunch of dumplings.
Yeah. Brian made a bunch of gyoza that were fire. They were so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then one of my buddies from work, he came over, and his wife is Filipino, and she brought over a bunch of lumpia, which, if you don't know, it's like a Filipino egg roll, kind of. It's just like it's opened on the ends, it's rolled, and it's a bit smaller. It's like a cigar size, rather than like a big fat egg roll, but they were really, really good. And she also made some shumai. I don't really know how you pronounce it, but
yeah, I'm not confident either way, but yeah, super good. Those are the best.
like
She had
shrimp and pork, dude. Those are really good. All that stuff was.
Hell yeah. It was awesome. We drank some sake. We crushed some beers for the boys. I actually just got done twisting up a bunch more gyozas.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I still had like a bunch of meat left over, and I had like another pack of wontons, and I just went through the other pack of wontons, and I IQF'd those bad boys into individually quick frozen. So you could basically like you wrap them up, put them on like a sheet pan or something, you throw them in the freezer so they're not touching, and then after they're frozen, then they can touch.
Yeah.
And you can put them in a container, and so that's what I did. I just cranked out another 50 of them.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and 50, and then you also gave me a portion of the mix that I can roll up too. So you must have made a pretty big batch.
Yeah. That's what they had, dude. We've said it before. All the shit at the Asian market, you have to get a bunch of it. You have to feed a family of at least a dozen people every time you go to the store. If you buy one product, one meat product, one vegetable, you better have 20 people coming over.
Yeah, that's true. It's
crazy. But
yeah. Do you need garlic? I hope you need 600 cloves.
Yeah,
because that's what you're getting.
Yeah, it's true.
I do appreciate that they sell the cloves like pre-peeled. I know you can buy them that way, but
someone in the back there is doing it though. That's kind of nice.
Maybe, but they sell them in a quart container, so it's kind of like you get like a nice bonus.
Ooh, a little bonus.
When you're done, you get to keep the quart container.
Dude, all my coworkers, when we go to the Thai restaurant, and we all get like quart containers, and they're all like about to throw them up, and I'm like hoarding them with my grubby cook hands. I'm like, no, you don't throw that away. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. You take that home.
Yeah, throw that in the dishwasher.
Yeah, we like quart containers for sure.
Dude, I've been having some struggles with things in my dishwasher that are not dishwasher safe.
Oh.
I don't. I think so. Since moving into our place, we have like a brand new dishwasher, and it must just get way hotter than any other dishwasher that I've used because things that I've in the past put in the dishwasher um, do not work. We had that like AG1 powder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we had gotten some a long time ago, and when you order it, I think the first time they send you like a little like gift bottle to drink your AG1 out of, and it's kind of like a tall, skinny water bottle, kind of like similar to like a Red Bull can, like that's roughly that size, maybe like the larger Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, we threw it in the dishwasher, and I pull it out, and it looks like a beaker, and I it was like the whole end of it got rounded. I was like, "Oh, this thing's weird." And I asked Rochelle, I was like, "You get a new bottle?" She's like, "Oh no, it shrank." Dude, it looked so ridiculous. And
It's hot one, huh? Does it wash stuff good though?
yeah, it does. And then that sake spray bottle that I was using this weekend also
Mm.
got all screwed up in the dishwasher. So
Another casualty.
yeah, I gotta actually pay attention to what is and isn't dishwasher safe now.
Mm-hmm. That sucks, dude. Hate to lose a good container. Good anything, really. Don't want to lose that.
Yeah. Well,
Can we
live and you learn.
can we track these?
Oh yeah.
I'm warming up, dude. I can see the condensation dripping off my can over here.
Yeah, mine too.
Ooh, I got JoJo's chocolate vanilla stout today. We're going heavy.
Sounds very
We're
heavy.
going heavy. It's a little chillier. A little chillier out.
Is that a Trader Joe's?
It's Trader Joe's. It's their brand.
I don't know. JoJo's.
Your words. It's 9.2%. Holy shit.
Jeez. Jeez.
Turn up.
This beer was actually given
Not going to work tomorrow.
given to me by a listener.
Really?
It's also my coworker.
Really?
But he gave it to me specifically to drink on this pod. He recommended it. It's funny because it's actually you know Lowe's Foods at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like their brand beer, but it's brewed here in North Carolina in Winston Salem. It's one of those grocery stores that they have like a bar set up in the grocery store. Do you ever see that? They'll have like a couple taps. You can go and like fill a growler.
I've only like been to like one of them, and it's like deep in the countryside, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this one it's they call their beer area the beer den. But this one is called Robin Hood, and it's an amber lager. So
Nice.
thank you to him. And if anyone else would like to send us some beer, we'll drink it on the pod.
we will drink. We will podcast for beer. Certainly. Shout out Dylan. Let's go.
Oh, we're saying names.
I think you could shout out a friend who gave you a beer. I think that's
Thanks.
that's all right. We'll allow it.
Right. Tasty. I like it.
Let's talk about stuff that you did to prep for the yakitori party. Yeah, Ronnie took down 2 whole chickens. There was 6 of us, 6.5 of us, a 2-year-old as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, mostly chicken, right? We had like some vegetables that were ready to go on that yakitori. We did. You had a couple of the chicken, like minced chicken meatball skewers that were really good. But if you just want to talk about all the stuff that you prepped, Ronnie.
Yeah. No, it was fun. That just as far as like the yakitori goes, like it was just awesome finally having everybody over, and like I don't know, it'd been so like buggy here in North Carolina, and it was like the perfect night. There wasn't any mosquitoes. Set up a little like fire pit. Everybody kind of sat around, and yeah, it was just a good time. Really good weather. Everything was awesome. But yeah, broke down the birds, and Part of yakitori is like, and I'm very amateur. I'm still learning. But part of yakitori is like breaking down every part of the bird to where they like have like this is like the belly meat, and this is the oyster, which is like the best piece of the chicken that so often goes like overlooked because it's just easier to cut around it, honestly. And so yeah, just broke down, and then each skewer is like that section of the bird. So everything is kind of like put together very thoughtfully. So you'll have like the breast skewers, and then you'll have the thighs, and you'll have I the birds that I got had like the organs and stuff taken out. Otherwise, y'all would have had some chicken hearts and
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
gizzards and
yeah.
livers and stuff like that. But
That makes sense. That's cool.
yeah, no, but you got spared from those. So,
That's cool.
but no, it's cool. It's really cool learning about it, and it's definitely an art, man. I mean, some of those skewers are really tough to make.
Dude, I loved the flats, the wing flats that you did.
Yeah,
How do you do that? So I mean, it's like debone, well, not debone. I mean, the bones are still attached, but it's fully flat and opened up. How do you cut that, Ronnie?
yeah. So you kind of like run your knife, like, so you have the flat of the chicken wing. Unfortunately, there was only two per bird, obviously. So there was only four. There's six people, so I didn't get one, but handing them out
I did.
to the guests. I've had them in the past, but you split the skin down like end to end, and then you just kind of carefully take your knife and cut back the meat without removing the bones entirely. You kind of break the cartilage that holds the two bones together, and so they kind of separate and lay across the meat kind of like matchsticks. And then you run two skewers kind of through the meat and then under the bones. And it's kind of hard to paint this picture, but basically, when you're done, you have the whole chicken, the draw or flat, kind of splayed open, and you have two skewers kind of holding it open, kind of like you would, I don't know, to like tan a hide or something. You have the skin like stretched out,
Mm-hmm.
and then so
Mm-hmm.
all the skin is exposed, and then the backside of it is just the bones and the flesh of the chicken.
It's cool.
And so the yeah, it's really cool. The skin gets super crispy, and yeah, it's just kind of a fun way to eat it.
Yeah, so and just to kind of explain, like it's super fun and like interactive. Like Ronnie's kind of cooking, but he's like passing stuff out. It's like paced out because I mean, not necessarily because it's kind of like a feature of the yakitori stuff is that like the grill is only so big, so you're kind of cooking stuff under a super hot coals, um, but all limited amount of things. So that, but then like everyone, you're kind of like passing stuff around, and everyone's getting a bite, and then new stuff's going on, and before you, I mean, it is quick, um, but it's paced over a period of time, which is really fun.
Yeah, yeah, it was a cool experience too, like having everybody sitting around and cooking and like passing out things as they were ready.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun. And we talked a little bit about like how well a we've looked at like the yakitori spots in Japan, and it just looks like the most fun ever. They're always like in these like really small confined spaces, and then like the yakitori masters like doing shots with you and drinking beers, and like it's loud and fun. um but yeah, we were talking about how being a yakitori master, like it'd be so hard not to be an alcoholic because of the environment that you're in every day. Like you're cooking for people that are all drinking and partying and having a great time.
And
Like
sitting
how do you
across from you and expect you to do all that stuff too, like,
right.
or like at least like that's what they're going for, right? They it's like you're like performing in a way. There's it's not the only
100%.
type of cuisine that's like that, but that certainly is like that. You're expected to like to lead the conversation or like make sure the guests are having a good time. It's really cool. It's really
I
cool.
have seen the contrast of that though in like more like high end yakitori places where it's like kind of like a silent situation.
Like a nice, like a high-end sushi restaurant where it's like,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's just like, yeah, and they same kind of thing though. Like they're handing you skewers and stuff like throughout it. They'll put like one on your plate at a time, and you enjoy that, and then they move on to the next one. Um, so yeah, I think that there is a way that you can do that in a more responsible manner, but not a
that's
more
not as
fun
fun
way.
though. Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's not my style. I like the ones that look like they're just having a blast. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good time. It's casual. I mean, I don't know. Diners want to be casual. I think for the most part. I think that the days of I don't know, like elitism at the dinner table and the white tablecloth. I mean, there's a place still for white tablecloths, but um, I don't know. I think people much more enjoy having a casual dining experience and fun conversation than they do like, "May I get this for you, sir?"
yeah.
Um, you know, yeah, it's cool. We love it.
What was your favorite skewer? The drum.
Um, I did really like the wing, the flat. Um, I also had that American Wagyu.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That was crazy.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it's really quick. They're really thin, right? What are they? I don't know, eighth of an inch thick. Like
Yeah,
it's
probably.
pretty thin. Cook very fast. Ultra marbled. I don't know if those have like grades. Is that like? Does it have like a?
I'm sure they do. I don't know. It's from Snake River Farms. We've talked about them in the past. Like I don't know, they just have like really good beef and um, yeah, one of the Asian markets out here, H Mart. It's a Korean grocer, and they have they have some really nice meats, and their fish department is phenomenal as well. But yeah, they have these like beautiful trays of this really nicely marbled American Wagyu from Snake River Farms, and I've had my eye every time I go in there. They're just like calling to me, so I've been waiting for a good opportunity to splurge on one of those trays.
Fire,
But
super
yeah, it was
fire.
fun.
Um, yeah, that was really good. The chicken meatball is really fun. It's not really a meatball, right? Like I keep saying meatball, but it's like ground chicken from what part of the chicken was that? Just kind of scraps.
Just like all the scrap pieces, yeah. So it was like, yeah, you shave away like, I mean, like really like like what I was saying about using every part of the bird is they're really like scraping away like every little piece of flesh, like the extra meat on the neck that typically gets thrown away, and like wherever you can get like any extra bits um, that you can't just skewer up, it just gets thrown into a pile and chopped up with some ginger and garlic and scallion, and kind of just like press it around the skewer
Mm-hmm.
and turn it into kind of like yeah, a meatball on a meatball stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You see the Japanese chefs with like a cutting board and like two cleavers, just like
going to town.
going to town on it. You cheated a little bit. You used the
Yeah, I
food
use the food
processor
processor.
like an American. Uh,
Hmm.
but I really like that. And like, I don't know, meatballs are so fun because like you can impart other flavor into them. You
Yeah,
can throw the chives in there, and you could throw like also the ginger and garlic. I don't really actually even know what you put in there. I know there's some garlic and some scallions in there at least.
yeah.
But I like that about meatballs in general. I guess yeah. Um, and the tare was really good. The tare is the sauce that once and when everything that comes off of the yakitori gets dipped in that before it gets served, right? And then goes back onto the yakitori,
Hmm.
um, and then is served, I guess, right? Does anything just not get dipped, or everything gets
I
dipped, right?
think there are things. I just
Just dip it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about it. Certain things like the chicken breast skewers, they get like a little bit of wasabi. Um,
Mm.
the one of my favorite things, the last thing I did is
Mm,
I cooked up some onigiri,
yeah.
which is it's basically just like sushi rice that you press into kind of like a triangular shape. It's got like some mirin and salt and scallions, and you just kind of like hand form them into these like patties basically, and then you can actually grill them, and the outside of the rice gets super nice and charred and crispy, and the inside of the rice, it like creamy is not the right word, but it's kind of creamy on the inside. It's just like it's warmed all the way through, and I think it's like the play on the different textures with like the crispy outside. Maybe that's what makes it, you know, feel like it's like creamy on the inside.
Well, it does stay together. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you just hit it with some. I did a little like dollop of QP mayo and sriracha on the top, and yeah, that was one of my favorite bites.
Fire. Really fire. Me too. Almost forgot about that. That was really good. I know. And that was like the end of the meal. We were already stuffed, and I was like, I'm not sure if I need this rice ball right now. And then like I'm like, oh, this is
I
like
know.
really fucking good. So great job.
Followed up by the worst ice cream mochi that I've ever had in my life.
Ooh. Name and shame that brand. Who was that?
Green Hat, I think it was called.
Oof.
Terrible.
Tough.
And you know the worst part about that is that was like the bougie one in the market. That those it's like six mochi ice creams. It was like $7, so they were like more than $1 a piece.
You thought they were gonna be fire. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what it was about those. The mochi part of it was like it was like plastic. It was like almost like inedible. And now I have all these mochi ice creams in there. The ice cream inside is good, so I've been like ripping them open and kind of like squeezing out the balls of ice cream out of the
Is
mochi
that
just
what
to
you've
like,
been doing?
dude. I mean, it's so bad. It's so incredibly bad to the point when when you buy something and you're so disappointed with it, you're like, how do they sell this?
This past testing? Yeah.
Like, how is this on the shelves in a grocery store? This is so incredibly bad. I don't know. Good packaging.
Good packaging. That's what
Good
sells.
packaging. That's what got me.
Yeah. Well, you know, Asian people don't buy that expensive shit. That's why. They knew Whitey would come walking in, get
They got me.
yeah, got super excited, eyes wide open, round eye
Yeah.
looking at the big bright colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Hand up. They got me.
Yeah.
No, but
Ice cream was good.
ice cream was good. Um, yeah. Lots of beer was had. Lots of sake was had. Um, yeah, I bought a 24 pack of Sapporo to go with the the Japanese theme, and then you brought over I think a 12 pack or a 6 pack, 12
Sixer.
pack, and then Dylan also brought over a 6 pack, and so
All Sapporo.
I
That's so great.
yeah, um, but out of all the beer that I had, I think maybe like four of them were drank, and then there was also like a 12 pack variety pack of something else that I had that I don't think anybody even saw. So I got Sapporo and beer coming. It's like in every corner of the fridge,
Hell
which is
yeah.
not a bad problem to have.
No. We
Um,
like that
but
problem.
yeah, I do like that problem actually. But you
Good
know,
shit.
I'm the only one that's gonna that's gonna drink them in the house.
Rochelle won't crack one.
Maybe every once in a while, but typically no.
Just gotta drop one in front of her and be like, ooh, you know what would be nice right now? You gotta sell it, dude.
Yeah,
Sell the sizzle, not the steak.
yeah. I'll work on my sales pitch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nice. Should we get into our topic for today?
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of teased this over. Well, it's still being teased because nothing has officially happened yet. There's just like a lot of changes uh, in the restaurant that I'm working at, and I've talked a lot about like the different opportunities that are on the horizon potentially. And I think this week we're gonna find out for sure. I think if we're gonna win this bid, it's for this pharmaceutical company. They're building a new business or new building. It's going to be like the largest pharmaceutical building, I think, in the world at this location. That Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I was told.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
This is a crazy fact right there. What is it, like labs? You don't know.
yeah.
You don't know.
Uh,
Is it like office buildings, like people that are slanging these pills, or is it like
no, it's like
is it
manufacturing.
it's like laboratories? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
manufacturing. And but in this building, I guess that like the spine of the building. Um, God, I don't want to get any of the details of this wrong, but I think it was something like a half mile long, or I don't know. The details are gonna be wrong. They call it the spine of the building. It's super long. I think they said it was like a half mile long, is how long this spine is. Maybe it was a quarter mile. I really can't remember, to be honest. Um, but
It's long.
anyway, it's a big building, big long building, and they're building a cafeteria in it. And the place that I'm working now, they have a bid to take over this cafeteria, and they're down. It's now they're in the final two, and the word that I heard today is that we are favored to win this bid, which is crazy because it's a small mom and pop operation, and they're beating out like all the big name, you know, food service providers that like do the shit for a living. Like they don't even have to really put a whole lot of thought into this. They probably have an algorithm, and they're like, this is how many people we're feeding, this is how many staff members we need, XYZ. They put it through, and it just like shits out the formula. So
Mm-hmm.
we're definitely it's like, yeah, definitely a David versus Goliath uh, scenario, and it seems that David might win this one. So
Cool. That's so cool. Wait, so do you think that y'all came in like way under?
no, we came over actually.
You came in over the other company that is
Yeah,
challenging you at this in
yeah,
price.
yeah. By like kind of a substantial amount. And
Interesting.
when we did the math on it, we it was like what what these companies were offering. Their price was at a low enough point that for them to feed their employees, it would have actually been less than what it costs to feed a prisoner in this country per day. So,
Yikes.
right. So, I mean, these companies, they're just going to be selling frozen, prepackaged, you know, frozen lasagnas, frozen chicken tenders, shit like that.
Sure.
And maybe it's not all going to be like that, but at that price, like, there's only so much they can do. So, I think we did come in actually pretty substantially higher on our bid, but the fact is that we will have kind of free reign to actually cook them good food and have total freedom of the menu. Like there's going to be a bunch of different stations. There's a pizza oven, so we'll have like a pizza station, and then there'll be like kind of like an international station where food will change out daily potentially. So you have Italian one day, and you could have Chinese the next, and you could have whatever, And so there's all these different stations. Some things will remain constant. There'll probably be a burger, coming off the grill that'll be like the same,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe you have like a special burger. But yeah, we'll have the ability to change it, and the freedom of that would fall onto myself and Dylan and potentially Brian.
Potentially.
Trying to win him over.
Potentially. Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I think it's awesome. The whole thing sounds awesome. I mean, and obviously like you have to figure out how to take that pile of money and make it work and also make really good food, and it's challenging and fun. And how many stations total do you think? Do you think like 8 or more? You think like
Yeah, I'd have to look
how many
at it
people do you see
again.
working at the same time? Like a dozen? Is that fair to work a shift?
I would think.
More?
See, these are all kind of questions that like I kind of came in onto the team a little bit later on, and there's some things that I'm not fully versed on. Um, more more about what I have my hands strictly in is we have them the like people the decision makers coming in to our restaurant on Thursday to do a tasting, and we're just going to give them like a bunch of different food just to kind of show like our diversity of what we can.
The stuff that's on the menu.
Yeah, or just I mean, it's not even necessarily like what's going to be on the menu, but just and sure, all the things that we are going to show them could be on their menu. But
No, I mean like on the current cafe menu. Is it?
no, they're all
They're all
everything
gonna
that
be
they're
different.
coming in to taste is going to be different, just to show them the
Whoa.
kind of variety of what we're gonna bring to the table.
So have you been prepping that stuff? Did you start prepping that stuff? Do you have a full like lineup for what they're how many people are coming in for that? I mean, that's a fun thing, and it's also like kind of nerve wracking and fun. Like doing a live tasting is like
Right.
it's cool.
It is fun. Yeah, this is a kind of a crazy week for us too because we have three different caterings this week. Um, there we have like doing like a Mediterranean bar. Today we had a taco bar, and then tomorrow I think we're doing Italian or something like that. Yeah, I think tomorrow's Italian, and then we have this tasting on Thursday. So we're going to use some of the prep that we've done for those other events. So we made like falafel. Excuse me, we made falafel. We're gonna do something with that. Today was the taco bar. We made like carnitas and had a bunch of salsas and a bunch of different shit. That was really good. And then tomorrow we're gonna do Italian stuff. But for the thing I'm gonna make on Thursday, I'm making kung pao chicken
Let's
because
go.
kung pao chicken's bomb. And
Yeah,
you also like I could make them, a fucking uni cracker with caviar on top and creme fraiche, and it'd be like really fancy or whatever. But you're also trying to bring like familiar flavors and just like knock them out of the park. And it's a cafeteria. It's not like a fine dining restaurant. So
sure. And the chances of these people like not every business person that's in the food world is even knows a dick about food, right? Like, I mean, the
no,
chan the chances of you, there's a higher chance of you scaring someone away with a fancy uni cracker
right,
than there is blowing their mind with how cool that it is.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I'm just gonna make a banging kung pao chicken that I
yeah,
know that I can make, and then we're also gonna do a chicken tikka masala. So like have some Chinese, some Indian. There's gonna be Mediterranean. There'll be Italian, and then there will be the Mexican or Latin inspired menu. Got some like elote and um, I don't know beans and rice and elote. Like I don't know, just the whole point of it is just to show them the diversity of what we can bring to the table,
so cool.
you know.
Yeah,
And I know that the other tasting that they had with the other company, they got like a pizza and a burger. So I,
yeah,
I mean, that's what you're gonna get. And when yeah, my owner was first telling us about this tasting, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Costco and I'm gonna get one of those like uni pizza ovens and we can make them a pizza." I was like, hold on a second, like they're like you can't whatever pizza we make here is not going to be the same pizza that we're going to be able to provide for them in the restaurant
mm-hmm.
in like a totally it's a totally different oven. B, like we'll have an actual program there where like we'll have the dough dialed and the sauce dialed, and you can't just like make a pizza dough and just like send it out. Like, we're not a pizza restaurant, and you got like this little like uni pizza oven. So we kind of had a back and forth, and thankfully the food rep like vouched for me or agreed with me, I should say. And he was like, all right, and he like stepped off the ledge. But I was like, dude, like let's just do the things that we can do really well here,
Right.
you know.
Right. And like the product that like I mean, objectively, like the product you're going to get out of the uni oven is going to be superior to whatever comes off that conveyor belt. I mean, it's just a better way to cook pizza. It's just different.
Well, it's a legitimate, yeah, it is. The pizza oven there is legitimately like big dome pizza oven.
Oh, it's not. Did you say
Yeah.
conveyor belt, or did I just think conveyor
No.
belt? Um,
I mean, the place where we worked had a conveyor belt or an impinger oven, so maybe
sure,
that's what you're thinking.
gotcha. Okay, those are great. Those big dome, like,
Yeah.
so yeah, those are crazy good. Well,
Yeah.
that's different. Let's let's dream up some menu items then. I mean, I like hearing about that international rotating station over there. That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. See, this is where I'm trying to rope Brian in because it took me a while to
This is
like,
the fun
yeah,
stuff.
it took me a while to come around on it too because it's like, I don't know, cafeteria. Like, I don't fucking want to work in a cafeteria, but the more you think about it, you're like, well, it's like normal business hours, Monday through Friday. It's not like late nights and weekends. It's not holidays. You know, it's like, okay. And having the freedom where we could just like basically make family meal every day. I guess
Yeah.
kind of dope.
And like rotate stuff in and out. I mean, presumably you can like
Presumably daily, like we could change it every day.
sure. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Some things will stay the same, but you can be creative and you could have fun with the staff and show them things and teach them things and yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you could do some like fun like I feel like you do like fun rice bowls over there. Like you can do like paella a day. You could do probably have to be really good with like food allergens. Well, obviously, like
Yeah.
you always have to be really good with food allergens, but the larger the crowd, I mean, do you have numbers as far as like how many how many people would come through in a day?
I've heard numbers up to like 600. So,
Okay. I
you
mean,
know,
that's a lot, but like it's not a lot for like an 8 hour day where you
yeah.
have a bunch of stations like that. And maybe it's not an 8 hour day. I mean, it would be 8 plus hours for the person working, but maybe service is only a few hours, or maybe it is extended. And maybe you work into the night. I mean, did you get any of those kind of any of that information? Like,
No, my understanding is that my understanding is that it's breakfast and lunch. So, in the morning, maybe you have your like, I don't know, like your like omelet bar or something, or you just have like kind of like, an international breakfast where people would order, two eggs to their liking, bacon and toast, or I don't know, and obviously that's just like it could be anything. But then
that's the
maybe like
hardest thing that you've mentioned right now, honestly. Like,
right, and then maybe you'd have like pastries, and you could have like quiche or something like that. So the other thing is being that it's not a restaurant, that it is a cafeteria. Like a lot of people are going to work, so they're stopping in and they're like, "Can I just get a muffin?" Or "Can I just
mhm.
get, a bagel and cream cheese or something?" And then they're going to their office. And the same thing when they're coming in for their lunch break. Maybe they only have 30 minutes. Maybe it took them the building's a mile long, maybe it took them, 15 minutes to get over there. They don't have very long. So I don't know what that's all going to be.
They must have some segues. You zip around
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Everything I've heard about this building just sounds kind of crazy.
half mile. This place is.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, it'll all be interesting.
We do pasta. You have a little pasta station.
Yeah.
We had that Asian bowl station at the Arc. That was pretty fun. We had some,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it. I mean, lo mein esque almost, but super like frozen
Yeah.
vegetables.
Yeah, Brian and I worked at yeah, see Brian and I worked at essentially a cafeteria. We've talked about it on here in Tahoe, and it was at the top of the mountain. So you actually had to take a ski lift to the top, and it was like a little lodge up there. And that's where Brian and I first met. Um, so it'd be similar to that in a lot of respects, I think. I mean, we cranked out hundreds and hundreds of. I mean, I don't know, 1,000 people. I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought we were like in like $40,000 days over like it's like a 3 hour window basically, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
there is like you kind of open when, I mean, you must kind of open when the mountain opens. Um, But then like the time that people are actually coming in there is really from like 11 to 2.
Right.
And you just crank and you have long lines for a little bit, um, and do crazy numbers. Not to mention like, um, the prices are high. So when I say 40,000, well, that's
A $14
elevated,
hot dog.
but it's also, I mean, also talking about 15 years ago, right? So like,
That's true.
um, things I'm sure at the top of the Funatel lift are more expensive than that right now, guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, cool. Well, I hope that your company wins the bid. I think that that's cool,
Yeah, me too.
no matter what.
And
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be great for them, obviously, but the other cool thing is that we would all get benefits and all that kind of fun stuff that cooks normally don't get
yeah,
if they win this bid. So,
yeah. And that would extend to the cafeteria no matter what, right? Like, I mean, an employee of one is employee of both, or would it be one company or?
well, I think we would be separate, but I think that the money earned from the bid would be substantial enough that they would be able to provide health insurance and stuff.
That's cool. So we're talking some burgers. We're gonna do cheeseburgers. Um, you pick your cheese, bacon burgers, stuff like that. Do some mac and cheese up in here.
Yeah, probably. I was thinking probably. Yeah, we definitely do mac and cheese. I was thinking we'd probably kind of do like a smash burger just because for time purposes, because you don't need a
Mm-hmm.
sandbag a smash burger. You know, you serve in like half-pound patties, you probably got to sandbag them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, to not sandbag them though, when you get a big ass line, a mile long line for the cafeteria,
Right.
that's not so simple either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's got to be like a lot of options where they can like come up and grab and go. Like that's
yeah,
why you
salads
know,
and stuff, pre-made
yeah,
salads, pre-made sandwiches, probably hundreds of those suckers every day. Um, lettuce, tomato, onion setups for burgers.
yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Haven't had to do that in a long time. With the with the kung pao chicken, I was thinking in my head, I was just thinking like a Panda Express kind of things in steam wells. I was like, well, that would definitely work in that scenario where come up, get your rice, your chicken, your egg roll or whatever,
Sure.
and then you're on your way. You know,
Dude, taco station. Taco station would be lit. Same thing. Steam wells, heat up our tortilla, like build a couple tacos and send it. Um, yeah, that'd be really good. Even like, I mean, I'm picturing like a big ass long flat top. I don't know why I'm picturing that, but that's what I'm picturing. Just like super, or like maybe a few long flat tops that are next to each other. That you can do all sorts of stuff, quesadillas, and I don't know. You're gonna do white boy stuff, right? I mean, like the exciting station is that like rotating international station, but most of the people are gonna get chicken Caesar wraps and burgers every single day,
right?
100%.
Yeah,
Fries if you got them, pizza for sure.
yeah. You're definitely gonna get like a lot of the same shit every single day. But then like I don't know, I want to stereotype, but a pharmaceutical company, there's probably fucking a lot of Indians that work there, and there's a lot of foreigners as well that probably don't want
Sure,
the same shit every day, or at least the same American flavors every day. So do our best to
for sure.
provide some flair. Some people like exciting food, not everybody, but we'll see. Yeah,
I'd be there.
love it,
I'd be
love it.
there. Hell yeah, that's cool. Do you want to dive into anything else as part of that?
I don't know. I think we gotta just kind of stay tuned here, and we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll be fucking running this massive cafeteria, not alone, obviously, but you know, me and Brian and the rest of the team.
Yeah. It's an awesome opportunity no matter what. I mean, not everything has to, even if it's a temporary thing, even if it's just an opportunity, even if it doesn't really happen, like going through the motions of doing all this stuff is valuable, and like
It's a fun brain exercise, right?
for sure. Um, Sit down, put together some menus, put together what you think could work, um, make it happen, and then like really get your hands dirty. That's great experience.
Yeah.
Great experience managing a bunch of people. Um, Definitely gonna have a bunch of people in there, no matter what, right? Um, I said 12, but like,
It is such like an overwhelming like process to like think about all these different stations and to think about like how would you even go about ordering for everything and executing all this different stuff. And then I think about the arc and I was like, well, we can manage it there. Like definitely,
yeah,
you know, a bunch of like stone skier bumps.
yeah,
We could, and this is going to be, more upscale, like handmade food than what we did there, but still, it's all just food.
it's more than just that though. I mean, because it's like it's what's in the cases, what's in the cold case across the way, right? It's like it's kind of the branding of the cafeteria too. Like you don't think about that, but that stuff like matters. I know that you're not even really necessarily selling something, but you kind of are. Like you're like the people that work there, it's going to matter to them what the state of the cafeteria is, right? And if they like can come in there and have a really good experience every time they come in there and they're look forward to coming in there, then that's like a really beneficial perk to having a job there. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not always, or I would argue is like probably like the actual food that they're putting in their mouth, like that might be 25 to 35% of like what makes that a good experience, right? It's like really like the staffing, it's like how well you can like train a staff to like be somewhat personable but also like put out a good product. It's a lot of product to be moving, so like even if they're not personable, just to be competent enough to like move that much food out is quite the task. But like also like what kind of signs are like getting hung like near the stations, and like are people somehow being directed to eat the new like interesting food, and is it going to be like welcoming for them to want to experience that stuff? Like I don't know, there's a lot of psychology that goes into this that's pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Brian out there with a little tray of kung pao chicken and little like tasting toothpicks. Like
Bourbon
when you go to
chicken,
yeah when you go to the mall.
bourbon chicken. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shake
I'll
it.
hang out. I'll hang
Yeah,
out out front. I'll shake it.
fuck yeah,
I'll be your wacky waving inflatable tube man.
I love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, really, really, I just want to work with Brian again. So I'm trying to
Let's
trying to get him
go.
trying to
I
get
do
him
want to
to
go.
move to Raleigh.
I know. I know. It's far away. That's, I mean, it's part of my reservation.
Yeah,
I don't even have a reservation. It's not even, to me, it's not real yet. So
that's true. It's not real. It's not real to me either yet, but it's becoming more real.
it came and it happened from the first time you said that this might happen till now. It was pretty quick, right? I mean, what are we talking about? A couple weeks ago, you said that for the first time. Maybe a month.
Yeah, and if they win this bid, it'll be March that they're going to be opened.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. Whoa, indeed, it's happening
That's
fast.
crazy. That's a quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of stuff to buy. Bunch
Yeah,
of hotel pans, sheet pans,
I know.
speed racks. You got walk-ins? You got
There will.
racks in your
Yeah.
walk-in? Probably not racks.
Probably.
You got to get those green racks. You got to put those together.
I think that they had a crew come in and like design the space.
You got an office?
That's what I'm wondering. Do I get an office?
Well, I mean, the kitchen has to have an office. I mean, like, there's got to be a computer in there somewhere you do your ordering. Like for
Yeah.
real, like there's there's a lot of shit to.
Well, I haven't seen the space yet, so you know, if we find out next week that we've gotten the space, I'll probably see it sooner than not.
Yeah, you got a POS system? What about
Yeah.
that?
Figure it all out.
That's crazy. I wonder how fast they can get a POS. I mean, I'm sure they can do it very fast. But have you ever been to like a big like a food show or something where people are displaying their fancy like um POS systems and new high tech stuff that they have and
No, I
screens? You ever work with screens in the kitchen?
yeah, I have. And then, like the ticket like flashes. It goes from like green to yellow to orange, and then like red, and then it'll start
Yeah.
flashing at you if you like it's taking too long. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to better to deal like better than having tickets to deal with, but
Yeah. Paperless is nice for sure.
mm-hmm.
Um. Yeah. But I'm thinking of like maybe they're not really ringing stuff in. Maybe it's just you flash your card and then you can get your thing and then walk out. Um, but some way you have to be able to track that, right? Like I'm thinking like big at that level, like you have to know what's selling and what's not selling. I mean, and you can kind of
Yeah.
you can gauge that from how much you're going through prep, of course. And like that's where you're gonna like really like I don't know, but you should be able to be like, okay, it's a slow day. It's Friday. I don't think a lot of people are coming into the office today. A lot of people work from home today. We expect 400 people to walk through that door today and eat. And therefore, we know that we need to have 4 hotel pans of lettuce, tomato, onion set up. And we need to have, 2 hotel pans of macaroni cooked. And we need to have this many buns that are unwrapped or toasted or whatever, all those things, like
Right.
all that stuff needs to be locked down on a like I can predict this because I know how many people are going to come in here every day. It should be pretty consistent, but like there's definitely going to be always be ups and downs in how busy you are, and to do ordering at that level and not lose a lot of product to stuff going bad is like it's an art, but it's an art that's like that it lives within like studying data.
Well, it's also where it will be cool to be able to change, what we're putting out daily. Is that be like, I ordered whatever X amount of pork butts because I thought we were going to be really busy for, taco bar last week, and we weren't. So this week we can some pork chili, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Sure.
or whatever you're gonna do, and but just like reutilize things. Cross utilization is going to be huge there, obviously, but yeah, and there's going to be a learning curve, and there's going to be some time between like the when you open to when you get that thing dialed, and it might take a couple months.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But get there
We will get there, won't we?
one way or another. Are we ready for this week's idiot sandwiches?
Let's do it.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot!
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot!
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
Idiot
Let's go.
sandwich. Hell yeah.
Why don't you want to kick us off?
I'll kick us off.
Kick us off.
This one's kind of a little graphic, honestly. It's almost badass and less idiotic, but it's graphic.
Okay.
So when I worked at the restaurant in Saratoga Springs, New York, Ciro's, and pretty high end. We did about like you could do 300 covers a night, but like pretty high end. Mostly a lot of people ordered apps. We had it, hot apps, cold apps, and then also had a like steamed lobsters by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a station that, I mean, we'd have you'd have twos and threes, but we also like regularly had like 5, 6, 7 pound lobsters, and on occasion like even like larger lobsters than that, like not like 9 pound lobsters, like 10 pound lobsters. It's kind of crazy. Like I think like the age of a lobster is like every pound is like 10 years of their life. So if it's like like an 8-pound lobster. It's like an 80-year-old animal. It's like
Fact
crazy,
check
right?
that.
But like a lot of people are like coming into this restaurant, like they're bawling. I mean, the restaurant is at the horse track, right? And like, so these people are like buying and selling like $1 million horses. They're participating in races. There's jockeys coming in the restaurants. It's so a lot of people are like coming in with a table of 10 and they're like, let me get 2 6-pound lobsters for the table. It's cool. And a lot of wine, and it's cool. Anyway, my buddy Adriano worked this lobster station, right? It was like kind of an extension of the hot app station. So there's a small like hot apps, like I want to say it was an 8-burner station over there, and then like right in this like corner there's like a fryer and the lobster steamer. And so you'd throw a whole, like you'd like run out to the walk-in, grab whatever pound lobster that was ordered, throw it in the steamer, steam it, pull it out and throw it on the cutting board, and then you take your cleaver, right? So you take like, and like the bigger these lobsters are, like 4, 5, 6, 7-pound lobsters, like the thicker that shell is. But anyway, the station, you come in, you have a lobster and you kind of grab it. You can grab it by like the body kind of, or like maybe depending on what you're cracking the shell, but you come down with a full swing, and you like, the goal is to get like the tip like 1/4 inch maybe of the cleaver to go like through the shell but not touch the meat. But like you have to be precise with it, right? You have to be like really paying attention, eye on the ball, and like come down, crack. And then so you'd like cut the knuckles and crack those open. You crack the claw, and like kind of jiggle the I don't know what you call it. I guess this is the claw, the like thumb piece, basically. You like jiggle that out, split the tail in half, and like kind of like twist it up and like almost like a heart, and then put that on the tray. It would go out to the table, and the waiter would pick the meat out table side. So like with just like a fork and a spoon, they'd like be taking. So like you also have to be really good at it for like the waiter's sake, right? Like they have to be able to like take this like fork and be able to like serve people off of this lobster. Um anyway, one day that Adriano's working the station, he gets like a 6-pound lobster. He comes down full swing and onto one of the knuckles and skips off the knuckle and goes right into his thumb. A
Oh.
full, like I'm talking about like pulling your arm back
Oh.
all the way down to the cutting board, slamming and skipping right to his thumb.
Oh God.
Horrific, right? Like immediate wrap this thing up, immediate hospital visit. Everyone was fine. No thumbs were lost, but really gnarly, really gnarly cleaver move right there.
Ouch. This gave me the chills.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know. I wanted to warn you, but I think that paints the picture.
Adriano.
It's, dude, Adriano, idiot sandwich, also just fucking motherfucking badass motherfucker. Super cool. Hard station, busy station, badass station. I've cracked a few of them. Like I worked there for 3 years, 3 summers, and I've probably cracked like 5 to 10 of them just when it was slow and I was kind of like walking around. I wanted to try it. I never cracked one bigger than probably 3 or 4 pounds. 6ers, 7s with those thick, dude. It's crazy. But congratulations, Adriano. You are the man.
Adriano, I hope that your thumb is better.
Yeah.
This was a story. Actually, Dylan told me this, and I'm a little fuzzy on all the details of it. But he was working somewhere, disgruntled line cook, got into it with management, and decided that he had enough. So he waited until the night got super busy, and then he took a container of salt and walked off the line and filled the whole prep line with salt. and just salted everything on the line, sabotaged the kitchen.
Oh,
Such a fuckhead move. So I don't really know. Idiot sandwich that guy. Idiot sandwich. I don't know.
the restaurant for being for being shitty, maybe.
I mean, it's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. Pretty ridiculous story. So, yeah, idiot sandwiches all around.
Idiot sandwich. Let's go. That's awesome. You ever do anything sabotage ish? Not that you want to incriminate yourself.
I mean, not to like take down the restaurant or anything like that.
Me neither. I just get bored and leave. It's kind of my
I mean, I've never walked out on a restaurant or anything.
No, me neither. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I just eventually, like, its time runs out, and then I like get bored of going in there every day, and I'm just like, I think I'm done, and and give my 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it usually takes me way too fucking long before I can deal with the suffering for a really long time, which is why I always end up being at all my jobs for several years before I eventually leave. But anyway, I think I hear the school bell. Do you hear the
ding 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 ding? That was more of the ring bell.
It's the whipped cream salmon school for cooks that don't cook good, Brian.
How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge. This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
School's in session.
Let's go.
You want me to take the first crack at this one?
Crack away, my friend.
Okay. This is kind of a fun tip. So, making cheese sauce, mac and cheese, you can make like a beer cheese dip. Something that I think a lot of people struggle with when making any kind of a cheese sauce is sometimes the cheese gets like too gritty, or it'll kind of like separate. It can get like clumpy. And I think often what people are really after is that like super gooey, delicious cheese sauce, which you can typically only accomplish with like Velveeta or American cheese, but maybe you don't want Velveeta or American cheese. You want something a little bit more elevated. The thing that is in those kind of cheeses, being American and Velveeta and all those, along with a laundry list of other things to make cheese that consistency, is sodium citrate. And so when you're making a cheese sauce, you can add sodium citrate to your cheese. It could be, Gouda, and then you would have that like nice gummy, or I don't know if gummy is the right word, but that
smooth
like,
though. Yeah.
Smooth,
velvety
American cheese texture. Most people are not going to be able to just like have sodium citrate. You could go on Amazon, you could order it. A really easy way to incorporate sodium citrate into your cheese sauce is throw in a couple American cheese slices. The white cheese, the yellow one. And, it doesn't have to be a lot where it's like takes over the dish. But if you throw in like 2 slices of an American cheese into your cheese sauce, it'll give it, enough sodium citrate in the dish that the whole cheese sauce will come together in that like beautiful, luscious American cheese texture. But you can use good cheese, so give it a shot.
Nice.
It won't break on you. It it's delicious.
That's great. I didn't know that one. I mean, I knew that American cheese was awesome. I didn't. That's about all I do. I raised my finger earlier because I made some cacio e pepe.
Okay. Did you put American cheese in it?
I did not put American cheese in it, but you did remind me of it. It's really good and super easy. I did it all in the side bowl. So I had some pecorino actually, and I grated it super fine on a microplane, and I put it into a mixing bowl with 2 egg yolks and a bunch of black pepper. And then I was boiling my pasta. I had some like kind of ramen noodles actually, and took some of that salt water, like just with a ladle, and just dripped it into my cheese and egg yolk, and kind of whipped that up with a whisk, and that was it. And honestly, like I never really made that dish, but I knew about it, and like it's so freaking easy. I mean,
Yeah.
to your point, like it can break. And if you don't, you can easily break it. Immersion type like sauce, like it can break.
Emulsification. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you, I don't know, if you know how to do it, I guess if you just drizzle me softly, Ronnie.
Yeah. Yeah. And the key with that one is just not to incorporate like too hot of water, because you don't want to scramble your eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is kind of a basic tip, but
Okay.
just when you're cutting stuff on your cutting board or doing a lot of prep, just have a bench scraper nearby when you're doing prep. And instead of like having your knife and like scooping your product with your knife, it's a lot easier if you have a bench scraper. You scoop that whole thing up, put it into whatever pan or bowl that you're working with, or sometimes like microplaning, I'll like microplane directly onto the bench scraper and then put that in and not even get my cutting board dirty. And it's just a really good tool to have. It's like one of the most versatile tools, and it's awesome. And I feel like not a lot of people have them. So get yourself a bench scraper. They're like, I don't know, $6 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good tip. It's a good tool. I don't prep with one often enough, but they're always nice to have.
Yeah.
I use one at work more often than I do at home, but I should incorporate that into my home kit more.
You got some nasty, you got some scrap on your cutting board you want to get up real quick. Just scoop right into your garbage bowl or whatever. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good one. All right. School's over. Go home.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Love you. Oh, big shout out to, we've got 2 new countries this week. We've got a listener from Dubai, not a country, but the UAE. So thank you for tuning in, and also Russia.
Oh,
so
cool.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, rate, comment, share. We love you. Stay creamy as always.
This is episode 20.
Big time.
Woo!
This is the big time.
Big time. Let's keep it going. All right, love you guys.
Peace.